other countries that are dictators. And so that kind of lends back to, are we really paying attention to our own human rights in our own country? As well as, are we giving passes to some countries, such as China, for what they're doing with the Muslim community there? And with Saudi Arabia, for all of the harm that they're causing in that region, with the Yemeni, with the war on Yemen, even violations within Israel, for the children and the things that are happening there. So how would you, as president, hold these countries accountable, and ourselves, as as president of this country, hold our country accountable for human rights violations?
Amen. First of all, there are, I keep coming back to this, there are so many reasons to disassociate ourselves from Saudi Arabia. I just want to say, you referenced it before, but it's just breathtaking. How inconsistent with all our values, and yet how we aid and abet in so many ways. The vote in the Congress was a beginning. Vetoed or not, it was still a beginning, and showed the beginning of a recognition that we can't continue that. And I agree with you on China. Like, the repression of Muslim people in China is breathtaking, and not just Muslim people, many others, and it is looked the other way on all the time. So I would argue that the beginning of change is to put value on that piece of the equation. I would be naive and I would be inconsistent to say the only way we can deal with other countries in this world is through the prism of human rights. I wish that were true, but I understand, for example, if we're addressing global warming, of course we have to work with China too. But I think what has happened in this administration and some other administrations is there's literally no value put on the human rights piece of the equation. And I think naming it, consistently making demands around it, setting up some sense that there are going to be specific things that that country wants that they cannot get if they don't address their human rights condition. Again, does it frame the entire relationship? In reality, no. But can it frame enough of the relationship to start to change behavior? Yes, and we've seen some examples of that in certain Democratic administrations, where they, in effect, put a price tag and say, if you don't deal with this, then these things are off limits to you. I think that's shown, there's actually some good history of change that came from that. It's an imperfect equation, but change is possible, and it begins with the recognition. And that example in China is a powerful one. I've talked to people from the Muslim community of China that's going through that repression, and that's a story that needs to be told to the world, and in many ways is not being. This country can be part of upping that ante and telling that story and protecting people in the process. Thank you.
So you wouldn't be afraid to call them out?
Not in the least.
Okay. Well, I think that wraps up our questions. We want to thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you.